Okay, the odds, shockingly, not that long for Portland landing the NFL, so it's probably a done deal. 12-1, according to sportsbetting.ag.
Let's just start branding the team right now. Someone has said the Portland Murder Kittens, which I would be all about.
Well, and they can play at Prov Park until we get a stadium figured out.
Yeah, that'd be
done deal.
Be sweet. I'm sure an NFL stadium with 20,000 people will be great.
Well, and we're building an MLB park too, so they can play there.
Yeah, we just put it side by side. Just butt them up next to each other, and we'll be good to go. Is there room over there at Zindel Yards for an NFL stadium too? That 12-acre property?
Yeah, just like Seattle.
What if we just build it out in the river? Can we just build a big floating stadium? We'd be the first of its kind.
So this from betonline.ag. I don't know how those two differ, but I guess they do. And it is that Ja Morant, he got warned by the NBA.
Yeah, he's
using
he's finger gunning.
Yeah, he did that the other night, and then he did it again after the warning. And I saw a quote from him. I got to pull it up. Yeah, but he's
a moron.
He is a total moron. He doesn't get it. He's like, oh, it's just everybody's always out to get me, and he's the victim, of course.
Of course.
So anyway, I'll get his quote in a second. But they put together the odds of Ja Morant's next team. So what is more likely? Portland gets the NFL, or Portland gets Ja Morant?
Ja Morant. Well, it's not even close. I could see a scenario where, Portland if they wanted to, Portland puts together, a young player or two.
I could totally see him playing here.
Yeah.
Because no one else wants him, really.
Yeah.
But he's still good enough to go get.
Sure. I mean, look, if Morant went healthy, and that's been the problem the last couple of years, look, the guy's at one point we thought he was the next face of the NBA. And it turns out he's a little injury prone and he's a bit of a moron. And as far as the gun stuff and all that, we had Zach Randolph, for God's sakes. We're used to that. We can deal with it. You put Ja Morant with some of the baby Blazers, speed up the timeline a little bit, and he's still young. What's Morant? Probably 20. I bet he's like 25, 26, right? Let's make it happen.
I don't even know if he's probably, maybe 24, 25?
He's 25.
25.
Yeah. Because he was in college at Murray State for a while.
The odds-on favorite is Orlando at 3-1. Where careers go to die, kind of. Although they're kind of good.
They're right. And Bencaro looks like he's got some stuff cooking down there.
Miami, 4-1.
Okay.
Brooklyn, 5-1.
You want to talk about where careers go to die? Go to Brooklyn.
Houston, 6-1. That'd be interesting. Charlotte, 7-1. And then the Blazers, 10-1. So the Blazers, slightly better odds to get Ja Morant than the NFL.
All you need to know is, one, you could actually see happening. And the other one is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Look, I don't know. Blazer fan, this is the best part. Ja Morant would be the best Blazer to play here since Damian Lillard, and the best Blazer to play here outside of Damian Lillard in 20 years. And yet, watch Blazer fan like, I don't want him. It's ridiculous. Well, we don't need him.
Wasn't there a rumor that the Blazers are going after Zion Williamson in the offseason?
Yuck. I'll take Ja Morant's dumbass over Zion. All you got to get from Ja is just, can you occasionally not pull a gun on Instagram and you'll be fine? Dude,
I don't know that he can do that, though.
Anyone getting involved in the Zion gravy sweepstakes, I don't know what to tell you about that. That guy just doesn't play. And he doesn't play and he likes to eat. Don't do that. But then you'd have to have a front office that seemed to care about getting better and taking big risks. And when's the last time that happened? But it is interesting that with the Morant thing, after Luka got dealt and no one could figure out why, there were national reporters that were saying, keep an eye on Ja Morant. Said the ultimate reason why Dallas did what they did is there were some people, and by some people, one, Nico Collins, that did not think, or is it Nico Harrison? Sorry. I was thinking Nico Collins of football. Same state, different sport.
You're doing great.
That did not believe that Luka would age well, and they did not want to give him a supermax. And they said, keep an eye on Ja Morant, because Memphis may look at that and be like, dude, we are not going to give that guy $400 million. And if he gets dealt, then this is a real thing, that maybe teams are more cautious about paying out supermaxes. And lo and behold, here we are less than a year later, and people are talking about Morant being on the block.
So Morant,
players of this caliber should not be on the block.
Well, but they are because they're boneheads.
Yeah.
You know, it happens quite a bit, actually. You know?
Yeah. but normally it's the player forcing their way out. When's the last time a team quit on an all NBA player that was 24 or 25 years old? The Luka thing we've never seen. You've never seen a player of Luka's caliber at his age that the team quit on. You've seen players that just say, get me out of here, not doing this. But Morant and Luka would be two all NBA players under the age of 25 that an NBA team said no thank you to. And that does not happen.
I gotta think about that question. Because he's really, 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 really good.
Yes.
But at the same time, I just feel like there's been a lot of guys that have been really, really, really good that other teams thumb their nose at because of who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but no name comes to mind. So maybe you're right. I gotta look into that. Here's his quote. This is after the game where the AP's Tim Reynolds asked him about the gun gesture.
Mm-hmm.
And he shrugged it off. He said, I'm kind of used to it. I was pretty much a villain for 2 years now. Every little thing, if somebody can say something negative about me, it's going to be out there. So, yeah, I don't care no more. That's how John Morant is approaching this.
Yeah,
so
it's about right.
He's
just a guy that just doesn't understand. Dude, you've been suspended multiple times for guns. Stop making gun gestures. And then the NBA is like, dude, just don't. Like, we're not suspending you, but can you not do it?
Well, now they fined him.
Yeah. And
then, would they find him?
And then was it 75 grand, something like that?
Oh.
And then the next day, like it was a day or two later, he's like, I'm going to do it again. It's just,
he's an idiot.
This goes back to my Aaron Rodgers thing. Aaron Rodgers always complains about the media. John Morant is saying that every year, if someone can write something about me, if there is this story around you every year, it's your fault. No one is making up false narratives around you. If you are doing this, you are bringing it to your doorstep. That is your fault. You got suspended. You allegedly pointed real guns at a team bus. You did that. This is the person that gets, that gets arrested 5 or 6 times and is like, man, the police are always looking for me. Yeah, because you have a record of getting arrested. That tends to be the case.
So now so does John Wall count?
Well,
probably not.
His was just injuries.
Yeah, his was just
fell apart.
What about Melo when Denver said,
he forced his way out.
Okay.
Yeah. So that happens they went to the Western Conference Finals, and like a year later, he was like, nope. And not only did he force his way out, he said, you send me to New York or nowhere. And then he gutted the New York team that he went to because they had to give up all the assets for him.
Is he a bit of a Rajon Rondo type?
No, he's way better than Rajon Rondo.
Well, no, he's better. I'm saying the Rajon Rondo, nobody wants to deal with Rajon Rondo's crap. That's why Rajon Rondo has been on like 10 teams.
Yeah.
Very good player, but he's kind of in that category, maybe?
He's just a pain in the ass. Yeah. But supremely talented. And so we'll see if someone's, it boils down to, does Memphis want to give him, I'll look up and see his contract. Does Memphis want to give him a couple $100 million?
What happened with Dwight Howard?
He just, same thing. He just kind of wasn't the player that he once was.
Gilbert Arenas. That's a pretty good one. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Also pulled guns.
Yes.
Yeah, gun.
On people in locker rooms.